Okay, let's talk about archetypes a little bit. And the reason I want to do that is it'll give you a sense of how typically TLs operate and what is the spectrum of responsibilities that a TL might have. Now, you don't have to exactly fit in within these extremes, but you can get inspiration and you can see yourself on the spectrum somewhere. So, let's say this is your organization. This is your wider organization led by your director, senior director, whatever. And within this, there's various sub-teams, also known as pillars, and you are TL of one of these sub-teams, and that's your manager, right? The first archetype or the first extreme is the project TL. Basically, this TL has a deep understanding of their own sub-team's infrastructure and domain, but they also have a somewhat, superficial or, slightly deeper understanding of the wider tech stack and the domain of the full organization. This TL can uniquely lead projects across the stack. So say you want to build a new feature which needs code changes, system changes across the full stack. How managers will staff this project is they'll have you as the main project TL and staff it with other TLs and junior engineers from across the org. And with your technical and domain expertise, you can make changes in other systems by leading through others, right? You don't have to actually deeply understand at the code level what other teams do, but you can lead through them. So responsibilities wise, you are leading a group, and your objective is simply to land a project. Smooth landing, and this project can last for quarters, sometimes even years. So this is one extreme of what TLs operate like. They purely do projects, and they can lead others across the org. Okay, on the other end of the extreme, we have what we call as team TLs. So within your organization, there's various teams. You are there with your manager for sub-team T1, and you have a very strong influence on this sub-team specifically, meaning that you know the tech stack deeply, but you can also lead others on this team. So when others on this team, other TLs on this team are doing projects, you are providing your consultation and your expertise to them in terms of reviewing their system designs, providing them code reviews, giving them, technical advice. You also act as a strategic advisor to your manager in this role, where, you help them by providing your technical expertise. So you observe problems that may be there in the efficiency of the team that are reducing the productivity. You can tell your manager about what are the technical problems that your team faces today and how you can solve them in the short term and the long term. You would even talk about individuals and the growth of individuals with your manager. So this type of TL purely operates within this sub-team. They're very solid contributor. They interface with other engineers on this team, helping them succeed as well as the whole team succeed, right? The whole sub-team succeed. Now this is the other extreme. Most TLs would do a combination of both. I would say that great TLs need to have an experience of both of these types of roles. And depending on, the stage of the organization, the situation of the team, you may be playing one role more than the other. There's also considerations around the type of organization you are in. In certain types of organizations, sub-teams can work in silos a little bit. Pillars are very isolated, and the coordination cost is not that high. But in certain organizations where every feature needs cross-stack work, very high on coordination, you would find that project TLs are needed much more. Okay, so that was about archetypes. Before that, we talked about why does the TL role exist. The next major chunk where I'm going to give you great advice and the lessons that I've personally learned the hard way We'll talk about TL duties. It'll be broken up into 3 types of duties. And let's move on to the next chapter.